just completely embarrassed and I started crying and everyone's looking at me. Worst experience ever.
Seconds. Look around, find somebody you love, find your pet, find your dog. We're at 30 seconds until the new year.
Oh, it's so sleepy. Ready?
Get ready to count.
Oh! Was that your head? Ow!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Oh, I'm just sleepy.
Oh, right here, I think so.
Is that fireworks?
There you go.
Look it out.
Wait a minute, here you stay here, hon.
Here's your cookies. Say Happy New Year. Why are you walking like that? You coming? Ready? Oh, you're gonna get whacked.
He's coming down.
Woohoo!
This is the camera. This is camera.
That's so scary.
Good job.
Oh god. Come on. Come on. Come on. He doesn't like it.
It's so cute.
Let's go this way. What's down here? Oh, he stopped. He stopped. He's like, no.
Let's do the race. Do the race, Mom. Look.
Just wait. Just wait. He's like, no way I'm stepping on that. Now he might because he sees other people. Come here, buddy. Come see me. Come see mommy. What's this? You're scared. It's okay. Are you ready? Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Go! gets knocked out.
Hey guys, I just had to redo my eye makeup and fix up my foundation because I've been crying. And even though I fixed my makeup, it still looks like I've been crying. So I don't know what to do about that. But basically, 6 o'clock this morning I woke up and got ready because I had a job interview to go to. If you guys want to know like why I was going to a job interview, I'm just gonna post my TikTok because I really don't want to like explain it all over again. Like I'm tired and I really don't want to talk about it, so I'm just gonna insert the video that I made on TikTok a couple days ago. So I've seen a lot of people post their mental breakdowns on TikTok, so I thought I might as well join. I've just been crying for the past 30 minutes because I have to stop being a stay-at-home mom. I'm incredibly lucky and happy that I got to be a stay-at-home mom for as long as I have been. I got pregnant at 16, and I've never had a job before, so I'm terrified, and also I really don't want to leave this one. I just don't. I also have really bad anxiety, like social anxiety, and I just feel like it's completely sick to my stomach because I'm just scared. I still breastfeed and I guess I have to quit, which is really sad because he still wants to. Basically, I can't be a stay-at-home mom anymore because we can't afford our bills. We can't afford to pay our rent. We've been paying our rent a month late for the past like 6 months, and we keep getting like eviction notices. And yeah, I'm like shaking, but yeah, I know I'm probably just being really stupid because a lot of moms have to go to work, and I'm just being a baby, but it's like hard. It's really hard. Back in August, I started an online like shop, and I was really hoping that it would work out and I would be able to not go and get a job out of the house, and I would be able to work from home, but unfortunately it just didn't really work out. I still have it, but at this point I'm just losing money because I have to pay to keep the website up, and all the products that I purchased, nobody's been buying them, so yeah. But basically, my mom picked me up to take me to the job interview. I was not happy about it. I felt like I was gonna puke. I did not want to go. Extremely nervous. I didn't even want to get a job in the first place, but I knew that I needed to, so I forced myself and I went. So I was applying for a job at my mom's work. They're having a job fair today, and so she drops me off and like talking to her in the car a bit, like stalling because I really don't want to go in. And then eventually I worked up the courage and I got out of the car and I walked up to the door, and I had absolutely no idea where I was supposed to go because there were no signs, no arrows, nothing even mentioning the job fair. So I was like super uncomfortable. And when I first walked in, like it was a double door situation, so I walked through the first doors and there was like 15 people just like huddled in there, and I'm like, is this the line? Like, I don't even know. And so I was like, do I like go through the door? And they're like, yeah, go through the door. I'm like, okay. I didn't want to be rude and like butt people in line. So like I go through the other doors and there's still no signs, nothing. So I asked the guy, I'm like, I'm here for the job fair, and he points over and there's like a door, and then there's like a guy standing there talking to some girl. So I was like, okay. And I wasn't sure if I was supposed to go through the door or if I was supposed to like wait to talk to this guy. So I was just like standing there, and then I turned around to the first guy that I talked to, and I'm like, do I like go through that door? And he's like, no, like stand there. I'm like, okay. So I'm standing there, and then like the girl goes through the door, and then the guy comes over, and he's like, he introduced himself, and I immediately feel a lot more comfortable because my mom told me about him, and like she knows him, so that made me feel better. And like he was explaining to me like how to fill out this form. It was like an availability form, and like how he was explaining how they're like looking for people to be available to work like 2 shifts, like 2 different shifts. And so I can only work afternoons, which is what my mom works, and that's just like the only shift that like really works with like Dan's schedule and like the kids' school and like people watching Leo while I'm at work and whatnot. And like we never really talked about me working a different shift except for afternoons, and I don't really want to work there without my mom because I'm a baby and I need my mom. So yeah, anyway, so then like he was like going through it, and I didn't say anything. I was just like, okay, like trying to like think in my head like, how am I supposed to do this? And then he like asked me if there's like if I have a reliable way to get to work every day. And I said, well, my mom works here. And then he goes, oh, who's your mom? And then I told him. He's like, I wish you would have told me that in the beginning, and like joking, and like he was really nice. He basically was like, hey, yeah, like we'll get you on afternoons like with your mom, no problem, pretty much, like we'll figure something out, don't worry about it. So then I was like, okay, like this is going pretty well, like this is going good. And then I go and I sit down at one of the tables and I start filling out this form, and he told me to just write like anytime afternoons. And then this girl comes over. I haven't seen her in forever, but I knew her, and she and my mom and like both my parents, really, they would hang out like even before I was born, like they're friends. And so she comes over and she's just like, hi, you remember me? And I'm like, yeah, I remember you. And then she gets down, like squats down because I'm sitting in the chair. She like squats down so she's at my level, and like talks and starts talking to me, and she's like talking to me in like a way that makes me feel like I'm a child. She's like, so what we're looking for is someone to be flexible. Can you do that? And I'm like, I didn't really say anything because I was like, what? This guy over here told me I could like work afternoons, but now you're asking me to be flexible. And like I have 3 kids and Dan works, and like I can't really be flexible. So I'm like, and I can't drive, so like I need someone to drive me, which would be my mom, and she works afternoons, so not really that flexible. So I'm just like, and then she's just like, what happens if we ask you to work midnights? And I'm like, well, I probably can't do that because I have kids. And then she goes, well, what if we need you to? And I like back up, and I was like, oh, okay, she means business. Like, this is not what I was expecting at all. I didn't even know what to say because I already said I probably can't do that. And then she's like, well, you need to. And basically, if you can't work anytime we ask you to work, then this job's not gonna work for you. I was starting to get really uncomfortable, and she kept like pushing midnights on me, and like I can't work midnights. Like I knew I could not work midnights. It would make absolutely no sense for me to work midnights because I would have to work all night, and then I would have to come home in the morning and take care of the kids all day while Dan's at work, and then I would have to go in again and work all night and do it all over again the next day. I would have no time to sleep whatsoever. Like it wouldn't have worked. And yeah, it wouldn't have worked. And she just kept pushing it on me, and I
didn't know how to respond to her questions. They caught me completely off guard, and she was just like, you sit here and think about it and figure it out and I'll come back. So then I'm like, I can't, like, this isn't gonna work. So I bring my phone out and I start texting my mom, like, I don't know what to do. She's being rude and making me honest. I feel like I'm gonna cry. I'm freaking out, and she's just like, just get up and leave, just walk out. So I stand up because obviously I'm not getting this job. So I start to walk out the door and she comes back out, and at this point I'm crying. I have tears running down my face, and I tell her, like, I'm just gonna go because this just isn't gonna work. And then she tells me, like, yeah, I understand that, like, having kids, it's hard, and maybe if you figure out childcare you can come back and try again. And I was like, yeah. And I'm just like, tears running down my face. I'm like, I didn't say this, but I'm like, I'm not coming back. Like, you completely ruined this entire experience for me. Just the way that she was talking to me, like the tone of voice and whatnot, it made me feel like stupid for even being there in the first place. Like, completely embarrassed. Like, I was so embarrassed to even be there because clearly I was not qualified, or I couldn't work the hours that they wanted me to work, and like I shouldn't have even went, is how she made me feel. And like, just completely embarrassed, and I started crying, and everyone's looking at me. At least that's what it felt like. And I had to go through the same door as I came in, where there was like 15-20 people huddled around in there, and I'm like going through them trying to like rush out as fast as possible because they're just like looking at me and they're like, oh, she's crying. They're trying to hold the door open, and it was just so embarrassing. The worst experience ever. And then I like walk all the way back to my mom, and as soon as I get in the car, I just like lose it, and I start like hyperventilating and like crying. And yeah, so that was my first job experience ever. My first job interview, applying for a job. I didn't even make it to the interview. Like, that wasn't even the interview. That was just me filling out the availability form. I was supposed to go back and talk to somebody else for an actual interview, and I didn't even make it that far. So that was fun. That was fun. So yeah, I've been like crying and whatnot, but I'm trying not to be in a bad mood. I'm still kind of like not feeling very good, and super nauseous, and I haven't been able to eat anything today yet. But we do have a birthday party to go to. Dan's friend's daughter is turning 5, I believe, and she's having a birthday party, and we're gonna go at this like play center. And yeah, it's trying to have a better day than how it started out.